and welcome to the Junkyard Love Podcast.
At what age do we learn how to have better conversations? At what age do we learn to have better conversations with ourselves?
My friends, today's recommendation before the podcast gets going is in the form of a book. The author today is Emily Fletcher. Her name is Emily Fletcher, and the name of her book is Stress Less, Accomplish More. Meditation for Extraordinary Performance. I read this one. I think it's a pretty good, it's pretty cut and dry. It's a little wordy on the title, but it's pretty condensed version of meditation. It'll get you to at least feel something. So if you've never really felt anything in meditation, you sit down and you're like, well, that was fun, cool, enjoyable, did my 10 minutes. Now what? You don't feel nothing. I think that this is a good one to get you to go, oh, okay, I see what's possible. So feel free to check her out, of course, on YouTube as well. She has some guided meditations on there as well. Check out that book, Stress Less, Accomplish More, Emily Fletcher. Let's get going with the podcast. We got Yanis. It's a great convo. Take care of yourself. Subscribe, follow, share with your friends, like, all that stuff certainly helps. Let's go. Hey, man, I just want to start this off. I'm going to point out this thing right here. Shaylee bought me this the other night. Beautiful minds inspire others. I really like the phrase "beautiful minds." It's like floats around a lot. And John Bellion, obviously, "Beautiful Mind." I have it tattooed on the back of my neck.
Was that a song or an album?
It's just kind of like their thing. He says it a couple times. Like he'll ad lib it in his songs. I think that it's from a movie called "Beautiful Minds" about John Nash, who is So I think that he is schizophrenic.
Okay.
And he was a professor, MIT, Harvard, one of these. I haven't watched the movie for a while, but essentially super smart, but he was schizophrenic. And the movie's called Beautiful Minds. It's basically about like how he's still like valuable. You know, he has like his issues. He has his craziness. He has his differences, but he's still valuable. And it's a great movie. You should definitely watch it, Beautiful Minds. But so I wanted to start out with that because I feel like our conversations are always wonderful, and you definitely have a beautiful mind, my friend.
I appreciate that. And I was very excited to actually come here because it's not often that you sit back and you're like, I'm going to go somewhere and I'm going to have a very in-depth conversation right now about Lord knows what. And the thing is, like, I don't care where the conversation goes. I know wherever it goes, I'm going to leave enlightened. I'm going to leave in a completely different standpoint. And I feel like that's like the epitome of a beautiful mind, is understanding that every situation you get into is an opportunity to be enlightened in a very new manner. And that's why a man with such a beautiful mind has a reminder right there. We're two men, beautiful minds, ready to learn some new things, man. We can say shit on here, right?
Cheers to that. Shit, yeah, we can.
Cool.
Shit, yeah.
Shit, yeah.
All right. Okay. So we are going to dive into the exploration. We're gonna go into wherever it takes us for sure. But I do want to get a little bit about you, my friend. You want to tell the listeners how you got your beautiful mind, like maybe a little bit of your creator side, a little bit of what you do, and how you got inspired to start doing what you do.
Ooh, we're having a good time. Oh yeah. So I'm Kanideis. The name itself we'll talk about later where it came from. It's kind of important. But I make music. My main goal in life is to create a platform where not only I have the opportunity to say everything I want, I have an opportunity to change people's minds with what I say. So like the way that I think has always been from a very young age. I look back and I don't feel like I ever had a huge mind shift in my life. I feel like for some reason I was born in a way that I could consistently understand a lot more than I should understand at that point. And the getting into the music was almost like, this is something that I need to do because it's my only option. It's like, it's the only way that I can live the life that I want to live. And that's a position of like having a platform so I can say everything that the world is scared to say.
Right. It's like a language that you felt that you could understand.
Exactly. It was just something that I consistently knew that there's something people don't notice that has always been at the back of my mind. Always. And that's why I got into music and I started writing really emotional music. My first 2 albums were sad boy season all around. At this point, I've gotten into a point in my life where I'm a lot more comfortable with the understanding that I've always had of this way of thinking and that it's worked out for me for a reason. So it lost my train of thought.
Just talking about your beautiful mind. Keep diving in.
Yeah, more or less. Yeah. So I just got to a point where I totally understood that music is the way that I can get everything that I want, achieve everything that I want, and just, I guess, breathe the excellence that I've always wanted to see out of myself. I've been making music for, let's say, at this point, my first ever album came out in 2014. That was a very, very sad EP that I put out, mainly because it was my first EP. That's why I was sad. It wasn't like cry sad. It was like cringe sad. You know what I mean? It's still online. You can find it. It's called Serendipity. The
fail
Perfect
out loud.
Mistake.
I love it.
The Perfect Mistake. So that came out. Then in 2017, 16, I put out another album. That one was called Past Chasers, which that one I'm very proud of. I put a lot of money into, which a lot of people don't realize that if you can't do it yourself, you got to put down a lot of money to get it done, right? So I spent a lot of money on that album. Past Chasers came out, and I mean, it's done pretty good. We're working on putting out a movie for it. And listening to all those songs, you really get to understand who I am and what kind of the thing that I think about consistently. I always have very emotional music. It's always really fun to get into, just like the past stuff that I wrote, just because like I could see where I was at that point and I can feel that emotion all over again. And it's so powerful to be able to do that. And right now we're working on a little bit of a new drop style. I'm putting out singles as opposed to albums, just because, you know, Russ's idea where put out a song a week every single week until you make it. Bro, obviously, I'm not going to do that, but
hey, I don't know. As a Russ fan, I'm just going to say I caught him back on the SoundCloud days. I got into him because,
powerful.
Bro, like every Friday, it's like I knew there was going to be a new Russ track, or every Tuesday or whatever the fuck it was. I love this shit.
You were listening when he was coming
Yeah,
up.
bro, I loved his shit. I caught him. It wasn't right at the very beginning. I wasn't like one of the OG fans, but like he had started doing that though, and I caught on to the wave. And I loved every song that he put out, and it got to be this thing where it's like I'm listening to his old shit during the week, but like he stays fresh when there's a new song every week to listen to. So it was good, dude. I love that. That's a good idea. Yeah. That's a good, and it's good to stay afloat and stay true to yourself. You know, it's like, okay, I got a goal that makes sense in this physical world. It makes sense out here. It makes sense money-wise. It makes sense fan-base-wise. But it also keeps me true. It keeps me not lazy. It keeps me working on my shit, you know? So even if it's not a beat a week or a song a week, like just keeping that consistency of working on it and putting shit out.
Yeah, and that's kind of the thing that Russ figured out before a lot of other people did. At the beginning, it really matters more about quantity than it does about quality. Quality is important because you don't want to look back at your catalog later and be like, this is all the wackest thing I've ever done in my life. You more or less, you want to create good music, but you need to put out a lot, because someone's going to listen to one good song that you put out. What do they do from there? Where are they going to go from there?
They want to check your other shit out.
Exactly. So that's why I need to create a catalog of a lot more music. So I'm going to be moving from the album to album standpoint to a single to single standpoint.
Right.
So that's going to be a lot of fun. That's the journey that I'm on right now. We're doing a lot of shows lately since we got the whole team together. I'm on HAFLife Entertainment with Ryan Reed, Max V Payne, which Max V Payne was on here, I believe, 2 weeks ago or something like that.
Yeah, I'm still editing his. It'll be
okay.
Soon though.
And then I believe that Ryan's gonna try to finesse his way into here.
No, he's already booked. I forget exactly what day, but
I think he said the 19th, 16th,
I got it written on my physical
Yeah,
calendar.
so the whole team's going to roll through here. So it's going to be really awesome for everyone to hear how different we are.
Yeah, but dude, that's why I love having you guys on here, because you guys think big picture. So you're not just trying to like capture yourself into one little lane, or like, let's try to ride this little wave of this thing. Like, you guys always have been doing this. You guys consistently been doing this. You guys consistently put your heart and soul into it. Like, I've been to practices. I've DJ'd for you guys a couple times. I've been to the shows. When you guys think, when you're thinking about a song, you're also thinking about the music video and what you guys can be doing live, and what's the crowd doing while you're doing that live, and what's the listener thinking about as he's hearing this part of the song. You're storytellers is what you are.
Absolutely.
And I just enjoy your storytelling, and I think that storytelling is important. I think storytelling is a form of leadership that is important. Mm-hmm.
It really is. And with our thing, it's like, at this point, I'm also working on it's more or less, I kind of want to call it a full-length movie. Mm-hmm. Kind of want to desperately call it a full-length movie, because the last album I put out, Past Chasers, I'm making a whole story behind it. We're going to put out a full production of me, and we got an amazing actress who decided to pull off on moving to LA just so we can get this movie shot, and it's going to be music videos, interconnected storyline, more or less. So and that's kind of the thing, like you said, while we're making the song, we're thinking about what the video is going to be, and it's just because we know that we live in such a world that you need the auditory, you need the visual, you need the feeling, you need everything. Mm-hmm. And so that's why if you don't dip into literally every avenue, you are not giving yourself the full opportunity to be everything that you can be. Right. Because if you're missing out on YouTube monetization, if you're missing out on Facebook, Instagram monetization, right now the biggest thing ever is TikTok, and it's breaking my heart because I really don't want to get on there, but I know I have to. Mm-hmm. Because you need to be everywhere. And so these are kind of the things that we're thinking about, because it comes down to longevity. I know I'm not ready to be in Hollywood right now, or like in the big picture right now. Right. I know I'm very happy that it's taken me this long to get where I am, because when I get where I want to get, I'm going to be ready for it. Because a lot of people are too excited.
Put in that work.
Everyone's too excited to just get there. But the problem is, when you get there, are you going to be ready for it?
Yeah, bro. We were just talking about that in the driveway. We were shooting some hoops. We were just like, bro, like if somebody hands you $1 million, like, you're just going to blow it. Like, you don't know what to do with $1 million right now. You ain't ready for it. You know?
Exactly.
You gotta build up the man that's ready to handle the situations you think you're so ready for.
And that's it. When you make $1 million as opposed to are given $1 million, you have a better chance of keeping and fulfill or creating more out of that $1 million. Now, if you come up on $1 million because of the lottery, you're probably going to blow it on a bunch of dumb shit.
Right.
That's the point. It's like, if you get it too easily, you're going to squander your opportunities. And we see a lot of artists in like big times, like when they made it as younger kids, they would be put in the spotlight when they made mistakes. And that's not something that I want ever. I'm the type of person that I don't want anybody knowing me doing anything stupid, because I don't do anything stupid. I avoid it at all costs, because I know that everything that I do is going to affect me. It's going to affect somebody else. It's going to affect people's understanding of my vision and my brand.
Right.
So it really.
Yeah, so it comes down to building yourself up. It comes down to building yourself up to be the person that is ready for the things that you know you deserve, and exactly. And you got to be willing to make sacrifices, and sometimes, you know, a lot of young people have to deal with shit in the light of day. I'm Gucci on that. I mean, like, there's a lot of, like, I no doubt, like, 17-year-old kids, like Lil Pump and shit, like, I no doubt judge them. And it's like, man, like, I would hate if the shit that I was doing, I was being such a fuckboy at that age, like, and older, man. Like, right. I would hate if all of my shit was just blasted to the world. It'd be so much harder to deal with. Like, I think not only I would probably attack back, you know, in like some sort of weird Donald Trump, like, fucking egotistic thing, Sorry.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you.
But like, I don't know, bro. It seems a little weird to like have your shit blasted out. I think I totally get what you mean. Like you want to just be like still working. Like you are very understanding of the work that it takes to put in all you boys in half, man. You guys are always working. You're always like, you got your head down. Like you're not trying to be loud at times when you're not trying to be loud. You're trying to learn from your mistakes in private and try to deal with things and not have to make it more difficult to deal with. It's a weird world that we live in. Have to deal with shit like in public, you know?
I feel like what a lot of people do fail at in this industry and a lot of industries is trying to create their to gain a fast fan base before they even know their own brand. And that's one thing that like the team's been pushing on me lately is I guess curating more to show everybody what my brand is. And that's the thing, we're all pushing so hard to get the same exact thing, and that's why we are all able to push back and sit back and be like, hey, this is something that you're falling short on. This is some things that people don't even know about. So let's go ahead and fix this before it becomes something that's going to be a problem. And so if you're, like you said, pump all the younger generation that's going in and then they're making all these mistakes, it's all blasted all over the place, and you yourself, you're like, I could judge them, but I know that I have done some really stupid stuff. And if I would have been in their position at that time, I probably would have gotten caught too. And so it's really been great to learn how to do what I want to do and how to keep my nose clean. Right. Because when you get out there, if and when I am presented with the opportunity to do something big, it's going to be, I'm not going to make a fool out of myself.
Right. Yeah. You want to be ready for it, responsible.
Like we went on Tonight with Cassidy recently. I'm kind of shouting out clout. Sorry.
Yeah. Wait, no. Hit me up and tell me about the story though, actually.
Tonight with Cassidy. It's I believe KGW.
You gotta remember, I'm off Facebook. I'm off socials a lot of the times. I don't do too much scrolling, so treat me as a new listener. I haven't heard about this on there.
Gotcha. So the last show that we did during the Christmas season, we did a benefit show, which I'm pretty sure Max talked about. It was a benefit show where we basically all the proceeds went directly to Target and Burlington Coat Factory, and we went and we just balled out on like $2,000 worth of toys. Excellent. And we took it to a spot, this foster care help spot. And so that was one of the things that we were able to do with the power of our music. And before the show, I feel like maybe a good reason why we made so much money off of the show is because we had a connection with a really awesome person from Culture, which is a Mediterranean restaurant out in Portland. And she got us connected with KGW Tonight with Cassidy. And so we were able to go onto the actual show, into their studio, right where they sit where the newscasters sit and everything. Nice. Max, Ryan, all of them got pictures taken. I was just like, at that point I was going through my hair transition phase because I've been trying to grow my hair out, so I wasn't really trying to get pictures taken.
I was going through my hair transition phase.
Man, you see, I'm trying out here. I'm trying to go full Samson, and
bro, I'm gonna sample you saying that and bring it up later in your life for sure.
I love it. My hair transition.
Because I feel it.
It's beautiful. You really find out how much you don't like people when you start growing your hair out. You really do.
Like, I don't want to talk about it.
Like, bro, your opinion is killing me. I know it looks terrible, but we're starting. Just shut up. Gosh. But yeah, so Tonight with Cassidy, we were on there and they kind of just talked about the opportunity that we have to do the show for the kids, the foster kids that we were able to do Boxes of Love. That's what it was. That was the company that we gave the toys to. And she kind of shouted the team out. We were even able to get Rage for the Cure. I don't know if maybe that was one of them was that the one that you DJ'd for?
You do. I never remember the names. Max and I had the same debacle. I was like, yeah, I did that one. He's like, no, it was this other one. I don't know.
Okay.
I've done a couple of these.
Yeah. Videos. So the Rage for the Cure, Max was able to make a really cool video out of it, and they played it on live television. On like the 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock news. So
your ideas as a musician brought you there.
Exactly. And it was the things that because the second that we decided, like, this might sound a little like selfish. I don't want it to come off that way in any way, shape, or form. But the second that we decided to stop taking money for ourselves from these shows is the second that the opportunities grew and we started making a lot more money and able to put it back into the community. Right. So the less money we took for ourselves, the more of a name we made for ourselves. The more people started to get to know us, the more people showed up to our shows. And it turned into a powerful weapon that like, we're not doing this for ourselves. We're using the power we have to do good for the community.
Right.
And that just blasted us into a whole nother spectrum.
Well, I think that it puts you guys in somewhere where you fit in nicely. Like it shows it's the authenticity. Like the crowd can sense when the people who are on stage are really into like what they're talking about. Like it's a real connection. It's something really cool. And it's full circle, man. It's you come into alignment with those things. Yeah. You know, and like you said, the opportunities start just popping up more, right?
Out of nowhere.
It seems like that shit happens, bro. I mean, that's something I've been noticeable about that kind of stuff, and with this podcast, like the opportunities of just, you know, certain things are just popping up. Even just following something, like I'm trying to give back and trying to use my spare time to fulfill, like to help people and. You know, have a mental health podcast.
Do you realize the power of the networking that you get on just podcasting alone? Like the amount of people that you get to meet and the ideas that like people talk about on this podcast is like, man, like you got a lifetime of knowledge just off of this podcast.
I know. I feel like I'm like fucking, I like stole something. I'm like, I got like this like little gateway. I'm like I shouldn't tell anybody about it or something, but like you just get to like talk to awesome people and just suck on the tit of knowledge for free from
suck
wonderful
on the tit
people.
Of enlightenment.
Like, I know. Here we are.
Oh no, it's really awesome. But so the team is doing great things, and I myself have always just like I've written from the perspective I've lived in. Right. So it's like if I'm in a position where I'm like super, like I spend a lot of time being a hopeless romantic and stuff like that, because a lot of people don't realize a lot of people who are hopeless romantics are just people who are, I guess, lonely in a way. And they're like, oh, I could treat someone so wonderful. Like that's kind of the idea.
Is that okay? So that's like the idea of hopeless romantic.
That's really like we can avoid it as much as we want. Me and my friend would talk about it way back in the day. My buddy Bogdan, when we were like 14 years old, we're like, dude, I kind of feel like I'm super emotional about women, and that's weird. And at that point, neither of us were really dating at all, because we were both in like strict Christian families. And so if even from that point, we were like, just like we have like this deeper emotion, this deeper, I guess not love, but like we feel these things deeper for some reason.
And did you feel like you had to like you couldn't like say it out loud or like act it out loud? Like
it felt wrong.
Yeah.
It feels absolutely wrong when everyone's like, you're a guy, you're supposed to feel this way, you're supposed to feel this way. From that point on, we're like, look, we find so much connection with the emotion that we feel, and we could sit and talk about the fact that we like a girl. And we're not talking about it in a manner, oh, we want to be like, we want to smash, we want to do this. We were like, I could see the future in this, and that's kind of just like the emotion that we were able to talk between each other. And so that was really cool to have a man friend that we could talk in that manner.
Right.
Crazy.
It's crazy. It's crazy that it's crazy. If you think about it, it's crazy that we just keep crazying it up. I mean, the fact that we're not, you know, it's normal to like have to be like whispering to your friend, like, hey man, can we talk about emotions? You know, and it's so normalized to just be like, no, we're men. We don't talk about those things. And you have to grow up being a little confused about it. Like, what do I do with these things?
It's taboo.
Nobody taught me how to do it. Why is it taboo? You know, it's kind of funny, you know, it's realizing how easily it can be not taboo. You know, we could just have these conversations. Right. We just talk about them. So you were talking about how your lyrics were always influenced like by this, by being a hopeless romantic,
pure emotion.
Yeah.
And it's like the one thing that I've noticed recently is I had a almost like a switch. Like my life got happier, but the emotion is still there in the music, but it's a very different emotion. It's a very less hopeless romantic, less I can be your everything. It's more of a, yo, if you get me, you're lucky.
Oh shit!
You're like
It's confident.
you're
Huh?
we're gonna have a happy life if you get me. That's kind of like
Right.
it's more of that ideology. It's like the emotion has changed. I've become less of a hopeless romantic, and I don't want to offend anyone who like swears by the hopeless romantic life, which I used to. I was like, oh, I'm such a hopeless romantic. It's crazy. Like that's why I started talking about Bogdan, because we both were super hopeless romantics, and but it's like we still. I got no judgment towards people who are hopeless romantics, but it's you kind of have to get out of that hopeless thing. You don't want to be hopeless in anything in your life.
No, man. Listen,
you really don't.
This isn't any judgment. You cocooned out of this thing, man. It seems like it's something that's given you a little more confidence, like something that's like you've discovered. Like now that you've really dealt with it for a long time and felt like what it is like to be like that, you were able to say, oh, I don't have to sit with this. Like, yeah, I have this. It is a thing that I was born with.
Yeah.
But I don't have to sit with this. You know, there was an analogy we were talking about earlier. You know, like a lot of our issues sometimes, it seems like whatever they are, you know, even physical pain sometimes, like knee aches and depression and not knowing something or not being good at something. We take them as they're like handed to us like a bowling ball, right? Like life or somebody or genetics or your bad circumstance gives you this bowling ball. And then the rest of our life we figure out how to live with carrying this bowling ball. And that's just, we got to carry this. And sometimes we get more bowling ball. We got to carry those too. But what we should be doing is we go, oh shit, how do I get rid of this bowling ball? How can I change my life to where I'm not carrying this bowling ball, you know? And so it seems like you cocooned and you said like, this isn't a bowling ball, this hopeless romantic thing. Like, no, it's made me in depth and made me intuitive with my emotions and made me understand things that I can now communicate with this language, this music language, to other people. And it's starting to create a beautiful path for you. It seems like, that's for sure. Yeah. I'm excited for the future of your music too, for sure.
Yeah, I had to jump into R&B because like, man, before I even ever started dating, I fell in love 7 times.
Yeah.
Like I was that kid.
All right, wait, what's your R&B inspo? Like who got you into R&B? Take me back.
Oh, this is wild. We had a conversation about my dad earlier. There's not much that I really attest to him about me today, but my love for R&B through and through, my dad.
Yeah.
Now, my dad was a photographer, and one time to make up for something that he did, he took a bunch of pictures of my mom, and then he basically put it to the song. Hold up, let me sing it a little bit, if that's okay.
Hit me with it.
Treat me like a rose, give me room to grow. Shone your light of love on me and gave me air so I can breathe. You open doors that close in a world where everything goes. You give me strength so I stand tall within this bed of earth just like a rose. Remember that song? No,
but now I want to look it up, man.
A1 like a rose. And my dad put that song on to the pictures of my mom, and I remember being a kid and watching the slideshow that my dad made for my mom, and I started crying.
Oh wow!
And I had to run away. I was like, why am I crying right now? And then I had to stand close enough just so I could hear the song. And that song, and then the other one, Unbreak My Heart, Say You Love Me Again. That was the next song on this thing. So I'm like, I'm sitting here, I'm like, Dad, you're hitting her with the real stuff. She fell in love, obviously. It worked. Whatever he was doing worked.
He could do no wrong.
But that's kind of what built me into the whole like love of R&B and
you
stuff
remember
like
this moment of the slideshow. That's
like,
so
I
epic.
remember it like it happened yesterday, and this was 2003. Maybe earlier.
And how old are you now for listeners?
25.
25
years old. 25. So back then, probably what? I don't want to do math right now. Never mind. 5, 6, 7, 8 years old. 5, 6, 7, 8 years. Somewhere under 10,
man.
Yeah, we smoked a little bit of weed. Don't get mad at us, but we did.
So math isn't added in the conversation. It's a different structure of my brain.
Exactly. That's not where the fun's at. But yeah, so that's kind of what got me into R&B, and it's actually the first song that I was ever able to put on Instagram of me singing was that song Like a Rose.
Yeah.
And like that was the first time I kind of got a reaction from people. Like I've posted stuff on like Facebook, and I've posted like Snapchat stories Not a lot of people responded a lot. I mean, some people, some like lifelong fans, literally lifelong fans, have been responding for a long time. But at that point, it was people were like, yo, this kid actually does something.
Right.
Like my family hit me up and they're like, you have a really good voice. It's like, no duh. What do you think I've been doing for so long?
Here's a thing that I read this Reddit comment, and something that like you guys have never fucking listened to at all. That you guys have never had this thought in your head. In any of you, especially you're not afraid to like let this emotion out. But this Reddit comment was it was like advice for rappers on Reddit or something, and like the first thing was like 95% of y'all sound like your parents are sleeping in the room next to you, so you can't quite be as loud as you want to get. And like, bro, it was kind of a mean thing, you know, clowning. But like, if you really think about it, there's a lot of people who, and it's not, you know, this ain't even a clowning thing, to be honest. It's really hard to get up on a stage or get up to where people are watching you and let your guard down that much to where you can be like, here's an emotion through wailing of my voice. Like, it's actually pretty like, it's a very difficult thing for a lot of people to do. And to be able to like really let that guard completely down and just say what you have to say, communicate your emotion, say the lyrics, whether they're yours or you've written them or you're just relaying. I understand this musician's emotions that he was saying for this song, and I can relay them. I'm a middleman for this cover here. And I mean, it's a way that man's like voice can carry to a whole new crowd of people in a whole new neighborhood. Absolutely, it's fucking wonderful. So, but it's something that I admire of a lot of you guys, but especially you, man. You're not afraid to let it rip. In any show that I've ever done with you guys, you're ready. You're ready to open up and be that lion's roar on stage, man. It's important.
Now, let me ask you a question, if I could.
Question.
When you get on stage, do you get nervous? Do you get any sort of anxiety, or like at this point, how is that? Since you've probably spent a lot more time on stage. Well, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I have like different versions of stages because a lot of with my audio directing and audio engineer stuff, it's less like I'll DJ for like walk-ins. Like imagine when the doors open at the Oscars ceremony. And the people, like the doors are open and like all the people are finding their seats. There's music playing then. That would be, I do a lot of situations like that. Like not the Oscars, lower level. Like, so I do like CTSOs. So it's essentially, I'm kind of like, if people, I can do a couple things to get attention in these, and it's like 14,000 people. So if I do too much, I get a lot of attention. They like notice that I'm in the sound booth, whatever. I gotcha. So that's a weird kind of thing. It's a little bit different than being on a stage where everybody's looking at me. And then I also have different areas where I'm in the back doing a lot of that. So I'm not looked at all. Okay. Or I'm at like a wedding where I'm not really supposed to be the focus of attention. So there's a lot of what I'm getting at is there's different anxiety levels for each of these fucking things. For me. I'm kind of at a point now where I'm dealing with a lot of anxiety of like projecting myself, like to where it's like, so what you guys are doing, like where you're like performing your art. Yeah. Like I wrote this.
I got you.
I'm having trouble with that right now. Okay. I'm having a lot of anxiety around that. But I'm also having a lot of like, I don't know that I enjoy being on stage that much. Like, I don't know that I get the high as much. When I first started DJing, there wasn't nervousness. It was, I wanted to like show these people what this thing is that I've been working on, which like I think is super technical and cool. And so I just felt like I was in my zone. But I was also, when I first started DJing, the first like 5 years, I was very popular and I stayed in a popular group.
I got you.
And so it's very, well, that's the thing is you're like, you stay pretty confident when everybody likes you, but then you start going to places where you're like, you know, and I've bombed plenty of times. Like I've sucked tons of times, like where I didn't read the room right and I was just like too into my own head or into my own cool guyness, where I'm just like playing fucking dubstep at 9:30 at a bar or something stupid, you know.
Black like, Betty turns on in the wrong situation. That's never good.
Right. Lamb to lamb, man. Fucking A. But yeah, so okay, so essentially, yeah, I go through many different layers of anxiety. Where I'm at now, I do a lot of like my alone time. I'm very content being fucking a real introvert now. I feel like I've always been like an introvert that's like stuck trying to be an extrovert. and it started like breaking me down,
oh,
man.
Yeah.
And I was unable to wear that armor, and that's kind of like was a lot of like my like, you know, sort of breakdown where I'm just like I wanted to end my life, you know. So, but rooting it back to anxiety now, I have it's not so bad when it comes to just like doing my job, where it's like I'm hired to be a DJ, like I'm gonna go play at this bar, this club, or whatever it is, or any of my like audio engineer jobs, any of my audio director jobs. Those are totally fine, like where I make money. But like if it's like me performing my own, like I'm Kronos, I'm the headliner, like I'm booked for this, like that sort of thing, I don't have much confidence in, because I feel like I'm like I don't really know what I want to present. I had like some stutter. I had some stutter the other night. I plan on doing an open mic night first. I plan on doing poetry and open mic night.
Okay.
And I was super confident leading up to it, and I knew there was anxiety in the back of my head, but I'm like, I feel tough though. Like I'm ready to face that anxiety. No problem.
I got it this time around.
Yeah, but fucking couple hours before, man, I crumbled, man. I totally crumbled, and I ended up not even going. I got to a point where I was like, you know what? Just accept it. Like this thing is just bugging you. Don't bring your poetry book. Let's just go and hang out with your friends, because a couple of my homies were there too.
I gotcha.
Running the thing. But it ended up, so anxiety ended up fucking winning. I didn't even like leave the house that night. I was a total mess. And this was just a few weeks ago.
Sometimes it's really important to let it happen though, man. Sometimes you need to understand that your body is not, sometimes you just can't.
Right.
And you need to sometimes you just need to get yourself that mental health day.
Yeah, man. Well, and I felt, I strangely felt like a lot softer the next day. I felt a lot like I don't know, less constricted. I don't know. I think I had been carrying a lot more anxiety than I thought I had been that week about it. And it was this stupid little silly thing where it's like you get up for 10 minutes. Like I could have gone up and read one poem and like given a toast and been totally fine, but like that was like controlling my thoughts that whole week, as it turned out. So, but it made me realize like how sometimes I obsessively think about things like that, right?
I got you.
And I need to justify why I'm obsessively thinking about it. And so I'm like, oh, it's important this, and if I do this right and I work on this, it'll be this in my life. And so I turn it into this accidental big thing that when it comes down to it, when the event comes upon us, anxiety can just grab it and be like, oh, your whole life plan that you were planning with this night is
I feel you.
shaky. So I don't know, I guess I'm a little over the place with anxiety, but for the most part, I would say outside of like that like presenting your own personal thing, I've got anxiety like really under control.
I feel that. I gotcha. Yeah, no, reason I asked you is because it like, I was almost bred for that life. I've thought about it a lot, and it was like my mom was part of the worship team. She was a leader of the worship team, so I spent my whole life watching her on top singing. My dad was a truck driver, so he was always driving around America. He was always meeting new people, sending us postcards, pictures. So I kind of was born with music, a big part of my life, and seeing travel everywhere. And so that kind of bred me for, I feel like, the music industry. And the thing is, like, also I went to, like, my family was super strict religious. So when you're in church, you're part of the plays, you're part of the poem readings, you're part of all of it.
Right.
So from a young age, you're forced to be on stage doing all this stuff. You're forced to be so
you have no stage fright? Like, did you ever?
At all, man. I'm telling you.
Oh, really?
At all. It's because of all those times that I was supposed to do that. It's funny because I remember the first time I ever performed, I'm not going to call the homie out because he probably listens to this podcast. We were in first or second grade. I'm going to call him out. It was first and second grade. Jacob Trotter. We were in the same grade, same class, Rose Valley Elementary School. Whoop, whoop.
Yeah, bro.
There you go. But he's like, hey, dude, why don't we join the talent show? And we just did this Christmas show that we did this like Little Toy Trains song. I don't remember it anymore. But he was like, we could do that song. And I'm like, cool, yeah, let's do it. And then the day we have to do it, he's like, no, dude, I don't want to do it.
No.
He's like, are you kidding me? I'm like, you're going to make me do this alone?
It's a social suicide, bro.
It was my poor first grade heart, man. I pray that someone hears this, hits you up and like, hey, I have a video from that day if you want it. Because I really want to see what I looked like on that stage. It must have been amazing. So I'm like this little kid. I go on stage by myself. My hands are in my pockets. I'm looking down
Oh, no.
at the mic the whole time. I sing the whole thing, dude. I did the whole thing. Like I sat on stage, did the whole thing, looked up, walked off the stage, and that was it. That was the first time. That was the only time I ever had stage fright or anxiety on the stage. And then past that,
didn't like ruin you though. That seems
No,
like
dude.
If this were like a movie, it seems like that would be like the most devastating moment ever for
My
the poor kid in the movie.
brothers wanted it to devastate me. They wanted it to ruin me because they brought it up for years on. They were like, remember, you probably should have picked your nose. It would have been better. I was like, bro, come on. But no, it just that kind of, I was just proud of myself for the fact that I didn't give up.
Dude,
I was like, it wasn't even my plan. I didn't want to do this in the first place. But then I told this kid I'll do it. And then I was like, well, if you're going to quit, someone has to do it. So I did it. Right. And so that's kind of like, it built up in me this kind of confidence on stage. Like I got a lot of social anxiety if I don't smoke weed in big situations.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the second I get on stage, it doesn't matter if I'm high, drunk, sober as all hell, I'm chilling. I'm happy.
You've already conquered that shit.
Dude, my senior year, I'm definitely not going to call this girl out because her boyfriend won't be happy about that one. But I called this girl. I hit her up. I'm like, yo, I wrote a song about you. You should come to senior night. Choir's doing a senior night, and I get to do songs. Choir was doing senior night. So everyone can do their own songs. They can do whatever they want to do. Everyone did covers. I'm like, I'm going to do my own track that I just wrote. So she comes out. I started off the whole show by taking the mic off the actual stand and smashing my tooth.
Oh,
Bop.
no.
Bop. Everyone saw, obviously. I'm chilling. I'm like, okay, that was cool. Whatever. Yeah. I still do it. I still
There's
kill
blood
it.
everywhere.
There was no blood. I did not break my tooth. Luckily, I did not get screwed up. But no, so like, I just, even after embarrassing myself like that, I just kind of killed it on stage, came down, and she's like, that shit was fun. I enjoyed that a lot. We don't talk about that anymore. But yeah, so I've never had that anxiety. I kind of use the stage to like build my confidence consistently. Like I have the hardest time in my life until the show comes up and I'm like, cool. And the crazy thing is I've been changing my act on stage. I've been doing crazier shit. I've hit the point in my career where I'm like, people know what your songs sound like. People know that you can sing. People will hear your song and they'll be like, he is a really good singer. So care less about what the hell you sound like at a show and have fun, dude. Because the second your energy starts blasting throughout the whole stage, everybody's in. And that's the thing. The stage like is my most comfortable spot. But when I'm performing, the stage is everywhere. Wherever I want to be. Yeah, bro, I'll jump into the audience. We just go crazy. And like this only has started happening the last couple of shows and my buddies have been talking to me. They're like, dude, your energy is like through the roof. Right. It's completely changed. And I keep telling him it's because I got the Samson hair now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm feeling cocky. I'm feeling confident. Yeah, dude. I got my times where I just feel just chunky monkey confident, man. I just feel great. But I have some times where it sucks because I'm so aware that like even as a DJ, man, like I've never been. I mean, I guess there's been a few hip hop shows where I've been like amping the crowd up, like running around with the mic, that sort of thing. But outside of those few times, for the most part, I'm kind of like I'm mixing more than anything, but I'm jamming enough to where the crowd is like feeling it. Like I'm dancing around, like because I'm just working. You know, I'm just just as much as I dance down here when nobody's looking. That's just what I do. But dude, anxiety did definitely start to get me to where like, fuck, man, I wasn't even like having a good time up there, and I would up there and I started to hate the songs, and then yeah, man, it sucks. But I have most of that. I feel like under control, but it does suck when it does like creep up on me. Anxiety is such a bitch because so I actually grew up a fairly confident dude. It was like a lot of it was like kind of mask armor. I kind of had to be based off of the upbringing, but I was a theater kid too. Like I was in plays, I was in the talent show. I danced to Disco Inferno by 50 Cent. I think it's 50 Cent. Is it Lloyd Banks or?
I think it was probably Lloyd Banks.
It was like, it literally said with my hand banging up a dress like, oh.
Yeah,
50, I don't even know, bro. Disco Inferno, it's the fucking hit. But anyway, that was like 7th grade or something. Yeah, and then like, dude, I never had to deal with any of that shit. And I was like super good at selling. I was when I was 16, I fucking had multiple jobs, was good at people, all that shit. And then shit just started bubbling up. Like, I don't know if it was maybe like compounded anxiety from like childhood, and then just like I didn't enjoy my job at Weyerhaeuser, but started getting more and more anxious, man. I wasn't able to really perform, and I'd start not even like bobbing my head much when I'm on stage. And then it starts making me like, you can't really fucking perform when you're not even having a rhythm.
Yeah.
Like, and so I'm just like not really having a smooth flow with a lot of what I've been playing, you know. So
I like that you brought up the whole dance thing, because I when I was 15, 16, I was part of my church's dance team.
yeah.
And like, it's wild because our church did a dance, but like the songs that they used was all Linkin Park music.
Hell yeah.
So it was it was kind of like a story about a lady being saved, more or less. But we had actual dancers who have been breakdancing for years and stuff like that. And there was a point where they asked all the youth, they're like, do you want to be a part of anything in the church? And there was the option of being in the dance team. And so I joined the dance team, and we created such a cool dance that like we traveled around to like 6 or 7 churches in this like Seattle, California, doing all those, like doing the dance and stuff like that. So that was really cool. So
you remember the dance right now? You gonna do it?
no, I do not, man. I wish I could. I wish I wasn't even.
What
like
was it like? Like, was it like a hip hop based dance, or do you remember really?
It was it started off, she was in a beautiful white dress, and she was basically doing not ballroom dancing, not ballerina, but like a nice little mix. Some just like beautiful dances. And then
wait, was Linkin Park playing like during this?
No, this part there was a beautiful song playing, some sweet, and then all of a sudden the lights in the church turned red.
Ooh, okay.
And demons walked out, right? And that's gonna be us. We're just wearing like black hoodies with black face, like black mark for like football marks on our face,
right.
like we're gonna go play a game of football or some dumb shit.
Yeah. Right after this, boys.
Yeah, we're ready. Right
after this exorcism.
And then the idea was that like the demons tainted her white clothing, and so like throw gloves at her. Obviously, we're not rubbing someone up on stage in church, like.
Right.
So it was that kind of idea, and then Jesus comes and saves her and stuff like that. But I was a demon, and so it was just like this really cool dance. I didn't have any gloves on that marked her. I didn't touch her at all because that was not my job. I did not touch her.
I wasn't the glover.
I wasn't the glover, but it was kind of like it was pretty hip hop. It was pretty hip hop from the demon perspective. And so that was really fun to get into, and that's why my senior year I took hip hop aerobics, and that was a mistake because I took it in Kelso High School.
You took hip hop aerobics? That's crazy. I mean, it's cool that you guys told that story in that way.
Yeah,
like that's super cool. I think that like any organization should always search for and like strive for some sort of creative new way, whether it may seem on the fringes or strange at first. Creative new ways to like explore and teach people new things. Like look at like now, like your life here, that's like a genuine moment that you remember being a part of, you know. So there's probably the same thing with the people in the audience.
No, definitely life changing. And yeah, so and that's another thing, is like even things that I wasn't professional at, I did on stage. Things that like I didn't ever consider doing, I did on stage, and I was not worried about it. I don't want to be an actor. I've never wanted to be an actor. I'm super sketched out about doing this movie because I'm the actor. And so I've been watching a lot of Heath Ledger lately. I don't know why, but he's my inspiration for acting.
Oh boy.
But
are you going to try to method act? Doesn't he do method acting? Or he did do method acting?
I believe so. But I see, that's the thing. I don't know that much about acting. I just know that I need to act my own story out. Like,
well, hey, don't be afraid of looking into different ways, man.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it.
And it's going to be, like I said about my music, it's going to be a very emotional movie. It's going to be, the main goal is to make people cry.
Ooh, shit.
I want to make people cry. Me and Ryan sat there and we're like, is this too fucked up? Are people going to get really pissed off because they're crying through the whole entire thing? Or are we safe here? Like, because there's a lot of emotion in my music. There's a lot of emotion in my life. And I'm not saying like I get crazy emotional. Like I cry a lot. I get crazy. I scream a lot. It's just like, I've always understood emotion. I've always been accepting of the emotion that I feel in a way that it doesn't become detrimental, that it doesn't come out in acts that I would be regretting later on.
Right.
And so
it's channeled.
It's channeled, and it's not cut off. I feel like a thing that people do with their emotion is they completely cut off their emotion because they don't want to feel it. And then it starts building up.
Right.
And then when you finally let that emotion in, it's so deprecating, you can't get out. You hit deep levels of depression. And I feel like a lot of the reason why I've always been pretty confident in my place on this earth and wanting to stay on this earth is because I've always been so accepting of the emotion when it comes, just so I can understand, why am I feeling like this? What does it mean for me?
Right.
And then when you can learn how to do that, you get to a position where you're not scared to feel these feelings. You know you can get mad, and you know that you can control it. Man, I'm gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah, I'm gonna lie to you guys right now. The most embarrassing thing I've ever done was put a hole in a wall. That's such a Kyle thing to do.
Out of anger?
Yeah, that's such a Kyle thing to do. I'm sorry.
Chugs
Drink a monster and punch a wall, bro.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Wait. Let's stop right here though. Let's say that we've got people who have punched walls and they may punch another wall. Let's explain to them, because sometimes I think a lot of it they don't notice. They don't notice that like that's wrong. They think like, of course I don't want to punch a wall, right? Mm-hmm. But there is some circumstances where clearly it's okay to get this mad. Like they don't see it as like a wrongdoing.
Yeah.
We emotions and being able to control your emotions. Like it sounds like you took your hopeless romanticism and you turned it into like harnessed romanticism and harnessed ability to understand emotions because of it. I think how can we hang up there for people who maybe still are punching walls? What do you think, man? Like,
so the thing, man, like when that's it. When you let shit fester, when you let shit build up for so long, you're going to punch walls. Yeah. Man, you're going to get so stressed out with everything that's tearing you down. You're going to start punching walls.
So if you punch a wall, it's like because you got some shit festering?
That time it was like, it was more of, oh man, I can't talk about this. Okay.
You don't have to detail if you don't want to.
I'll go deep. Man, I'm an open book. I cried my eyes out because like, I was having a stressful day the day before. I woke up stressed. I couldn't find my keys. I was going to be late to work and I was worried about getting fired. So I started crying. Right. And then I felt like I was so out of control of my emotion that I just turned around and punched a wall.
Right.
Which is like, it's the only time it's ever happened. It's the only time it's ever going to happen. But like, it was kind of one of those things that everything built up and I wasn't dealing with it. Yeah. I went to sleep in a bad mood. I went to sleep, had nightmares because I was in a bad mood, thinking about this situation all day, thinking about it all night. And so you wake up, you punch a wall. It's like, I feel like the best thing that you can do for yourself is sit down in that moment and understand, why am I mad? Why is this making me so angry? Is it justified? Or is it just because there's something else tearing me up inside right now that I'm going to take that and I'm going to push it onto another emotion?
Right.
I'm heartbroken. I don't want people to know that I'm hurt. So I'm going to act out of aggression so people don't think I'm hurt. They just think I'm mad.
Right.
And that's kind of, I feel like the second that you learn to accept those emotions and to let them do their part, they're there for a reason. It's one of the best gifts that we were given to understand who we are.
Right. Yeah. It's telling you about the symptoms.
It's telling you who I am, why this makes me tick. This makes me do this. This makes me do that. But we're so afraid of it. Why is this making me mad?
Well, a lot of the times I think that we get stuck with that, like that, holding this bowling ball, like, okay, I'm just someone who punches walls. It's just not, how do you expect me to change? What are you talking about? That's just what I do. Like, they don't feel like they're in control of it. Like it's something that we think we can't change. Like, so I feel like we're both pretty like in touch with our emotions kind of guys. Yeah, I was saying that I did, though. I had an experience where I punched a dashboard I had with an ex-girlfriend years and years ago when I was like 17 or 18. I punched the dashboard.
Yeah.
And I remember when it happened, I was like, what the fuck? That's not me. Like, it was like, I'm not an external, like I'm more of the like internalize all of my whatever, and I remember doing it, but it's like you get to these things and it's like you do them and you hit the dash and like, what the heck? I didn't know that was going on. But what that is, that's some shit coming from your subconscious kind of, that's some shit that you're not in control. It's like, it's hitting that button. It's finding that button and it's pushing only that button. And that's an area where when you act out emotionally or you punch a wall or you do those, that's like you're saying, it's showing you, it's pointing out like there's where you need to heal. There's where you need to work on stuff. And your life does get better when you don't accept that you don't have to be hitting walls all the time. You don't have to be punching or acting out in anger or allowing your emotions to grapple you and grab you and make you make decisions that you don't want to really make. And you realize you can handle those. It's empowering, you know, and there's ways.
And you can quote this next thing that I'm going to say.
Quote it.
You can definitely quote it. Your subconscious is built off of regression, repression. Everything that you repress, like everything that you hold back, it goes somewhere. It doesn't just go away. It goes into your subconscious, and all that repression, it more or less starts building, like I said, festering up inside you, and then your subconscious starts needing, I guess, screaming out for help,
right?
Throwing things out, and you're like, why would I act in this way?
Right.
And that's so the subconscious is pretty much built off of repression, everything that you've ever repressed. And so the best way to get yourself to a point where you're no longer letting your emotion take you out of your own mind is understanding that every time that you push something back, it's just going to build up. The ceiling gets higher and higher and higher until it snaps.
Yeah, you got to take these things. Sometimes you can take them and like, all right, let it come out out of your arm, onto your fingers, and into a pen, onto a piece of paper. You know, like write this thing instead of suppressing it and pushing it down and like feeling this anger. Be like, why do I feel this anger?
Exactly.
Write it down.
Exactly.
Take your phone out, write a note. Like, why am I feeling this anger? And just have a conversation with yourself. You know, me and this wall. That's how I started. I sat there, crisscross applesauce, and was like, what the fuck is going on, man? I started the scientific method. I took those things that I was suppressing, like these like sadnesses that I felt from my childhood that I just wasn't dealing with, didn't want to talk about, but they were affecting my future.
Yep.
You know, they were coming up and I just kept pushing them down. And then I kept, finding, ways to numb them and ways to run from them. And at some point you got to be like, all right, let's pull this thing out of me one by one, write it down or jot it down somewhere, talk to yourself, have the conversation, figure it out.
Yeah, and a lot of people, it's like everyone in every aspect, you talk to people about relationships in general, talking about friendships, families, girlfriends, boyfriends, and you ask what's the most important thing? It's communication. You get into business with somebody, a partner, what's the best thing in the world for that business? Communication. Now, if in every aspect of life, communication is the best possible thing, but we completely neglect to communicate with ourselves.
Ooh,
we completely neglect to tell ourselves exactly what we're feeling and letting ourselves understand it. It's okay that I'm feeling like this. It's okay that I'm sad as all hell. It's okay that I'm pissed off that this happened.
Yeah.
I need to let it happen.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yep.
That doesn't make me a piece of shit just because I'm not happy all the time.
Right.
And the second that you start understanding that, you're building yourself a stronger foundation for, I guess, less aggression in the future, you can say.
Yeah, that's true. And just being able to handle the abstract emotions.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, it's very important for us to realize that we can handle the hard emotions. Like we have our culture, our society is so seeking of comfort all the time. You know, we're always like that's the ultimate goal is like being comfortable. And so the second that something bad comes up, the second that an uncomfortable feeling happens, we pick up our phone or we say something or we, break the silence or we have to run away from it or do something to escape the things that are coming up. But I don't know, being able to cope with those things and being able to take a look at them and understanding that you can and you're worthy of taking a look at them and your life's worthy of getting better wherever you're at, I think.
Absolutely. And yeah, it's communicate with yourself, man. Tell yourself.
Tell
yourself, man, I am okay. I'm depressed.
Yeah.
I hate everything that's going on right now. That's fine.
That's fine.
So let's sit down in this bed and play some what's the new popular game these days?
Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah,
Mario Kart.
I was going to
Donkey
say
Kong
Best
64.
Fiends because
Spyro.
we're sponsored by Best Fiends. I'm just kidding. Would be nice. But no. So you sit there, play your video games for a day. That's fine. Take your time. Because if you neglect to give yourself the opportunity to understand why you're feeling these things, you're, like I said earlier, you're giving up on the best gift that you possibly have to truly know who you are as a person.
Right.
Our emotions are there to help us understand what our limits are, what our whole being is. We learn through joy and happiness, we learn what love is.
Right.
Through anger, we learn limits. We learn what we do and do not want to accept in our life.
Yeah, our edges.
With depression, with sadness, you really delve into how far you can make it as a human and still make it back up. like how down you can get and still bring yourself back up. So it shows you the power in yourself.
Yeah.
So every emotion that you have is built to build you up. And if you're always repressing it, I feel like you're mentally stunting yourself.
Bro.
Emotionally, mentally, all of it.
What if depression is just a signal from your future self saying, hey man, you need a reason to be stronger than you are right now. So I got to give you some pain. I got to assign you some pain. I'm so sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, but this is me, your future self. I got to give you this pain. You got to go through it because I'm going to need you to be strong. I'm going to need us to be strong later, you know?
Because I won't be able to handle it if you can't handle that, I'll never be able to handle this part in my life.
Yeah. Like I need you past self. Like what if you thought about like when you're sad, when you're going through these tough times, what if it's like, you know, let yourself feel these feelings, you know, let yourself feel the real human emotions. But when it's time to move forward, say, all right, you know what, maybe this is a gift from my future self saying we got to prep for some shit. So it's time to make life a little better.
Exactly. You know? No, and I mean, I can honestly say that I was very privileged in having a mother who was very, very, she had a vast array of emotion. She wasn't bipolar or anything. She was just a foreign mom living in America, raising 3 boys by herself. So you saw the whole spectrum.
Okay.
And
right.
So I saw with my mom, I saw that a lot of times that it was very deprecating for her. When she got mad a lot, when she got stressed a lot, she would need to take pills. And I'm not talking about, I don't know what it's called in English, valerianka or something like that. It's like heart medication because she had heart issues in the past. And a lot of it was because she was so scared to let her emotion out, or she had no one to share it with, that it would start to fester up and she would go through 4 emotions in the span of a 3-hour period. Did
she not have very many friends?
She had an amazing friend. It's just, when you're going through that and you're going through that in a community of your ex's family, because my dad's family lives in Kelso Longview, and there's like, you've probably met 17 Pisarchuks by now. A lot of us out here. It's scary. And what were we just talking about?
Just your mom raising.
Yeah, so my mom was pretty much, she raised the boys still in the community of her ex's family. Just because we were raised around our cousins and stuff like that, so she couldn't take us away from there.
Right.
And so it was hard for her to reach out to anybody because, of course, from the beginning there was that bias.
Yeah. She probably wanted to make sure she's appearing to be tough and that she's got it under control, which I'm sure she did. But of course,
once you come home,
right. Well,
it all unfolds.
And we were talking about earlier, like, you know, just like a woman's role in culture, especially in like situations like that, she's got to be strong. She's got to be the strongest one ever. Like, she can't show a falter. You know, she's got to be strong for her boys. You know?
Exactly.
There's a lot of weight that gets put onto a motherly figure in our culture.
And there's a lot of judgment. That's the worst part. There's so much judgment to people just trying to do their fucking best.
Right.
You see some kid throwing a tantrum in a Walmart, it's not because she's a terrible parent. It's because maybe at this point she's had enough. The child's had enough, hasn't slept slept well in 4 days because he's had a cold or something like that.
Right.
And that's the thing, you never know, but there's so much judgment put on mothers and how the boys are raised. And so, yeah, it really put a lot of strain on her. And so in the home, I would see the strain that it caused. I would see the emotion that she felt. And so I had a lot of time to sit back and be able to decipher the emotion she was feeling and decipher why she was feeling the way she was feeling.
Right.
And that built up a lot of empathy in my life. And another conversation we were having earlier was the talks of that we didn't understand when we were younger the potential that we had to help somebody. The potential that when someone's in a bad state of mind, they came to us and they asked us for help. And even though even if you may have never been in that situation, or maybe you did go through that situation and so you had something to say to them, and later on they tell you, they're like, you changed my life. Right. Like you may have saved me, you may have completely changed my thinking, you may have done all that. But we didn't realize that we had that power, so we didn't harness that power for such a long time until we grew up, and then we sat back and we were able to say, you know what? I'm super proud of the empathy that you have for the people around you.
Right.
And the fact that you don't do it for anybody, you don't do it for yourself. You just do it because that is the lifestyle that you want to breed. And if it ever happens that I have a child, that is the only thing that I want him to truly take from me.
Absolutely.
That as a human being on this planet, Empathy is something that is so rare. So why not be that person? Why not be that person? And we were having that conversation. We were just like, if we sat back and we were like, wow, we have so much power to just change people's lives.
Right.
There was a lot more we could have done, which we're still here. So we still have a lot of time to do what we
No,
gotta
I
do,
mean,
but-
yeah, in grabbing that and like just saying like, okay, like people, you know, if people inevitably come to you, like if you're the empath friend, you're the counselor friend, you're the therapeutic friend, you're the psychology friend,
Exactly,
you know, you're the person who like with me, it's like, it seems like I'm like the friend that people are like, of course, when it comes to like depression and suicide, they'll come to me in those senses, but it's also, there's parts of me that like, I'm able to like, they'll allow me to, say like what they need to hear, what they don't want to really maybe face, but what I'll tell them maybe the truth, like, and I'm not mean about it, of course, because I understand the human condition, you know. But yeah, dude, empathy is so important in this world.
Sometimes they just need someone to flip that switch. They can't do it themselves. And so they come to you because there's some people in this world, which if you're like this, I'm not judging you in any way, shape, or form. There are those kind of people that are kind of like, here's the answer, fix it, do it. Some people just can't do it like that.
Right.
Some people need that extra push. Some people need that extra help. Some people need someone to say, you know what, that's a good idea. And you don't need my approval, but I think that you would do great in that. And in that portion, they can sit back and there can be like, well, he's confident in me. Why can't I be confident in myself?
Right. Just that little spark sometimes, man.
He gets excitement in his eye when he sees what I have the potential to do. So why would I let the fear that I feel hold me back from doing something amazing? Very powerful.
Yeah. And I think everybody has that power to just believe in each other. You know what I mean? Like just give that confident seed of like, you can do this.
That little push they need.
Yeah.
And that's like I told you earlier that I sent in that question to my favorite YouTube artist, Timothy Delgado, on his new podcast. And he answered my question. And it's like, you sit back and they just took the time to help somebody out. They took the time to not only help me out, but 3 different people with 3 opposing views. And they all had amazing views to give. And I just sat back and I'm like, they didn't have to spend 20 minutes talking about it.
Right.
Like, they didn't have to do that at all, but they did, because they understood that there was somebody out there who had an issue in their life. And they they already knew the answer. I already knew the answer. But I guess I just kind of needed that reassurance that I'm not doing something stupid.
Right. Well, I mean, it's kind of like you say you already kind of knew the answer, but like sometimes we kind of know shit. We don't really know how to word it. We don't really know like what it means that we know. So like when you sent in this question and they're like, all right, our question is from so-and-so today. And here's what it is. And they read it and then they start talking about it. It's kind of like taking a thought that's only in your mind, that's only hitting around the very narrow head cavity we have here, you know, like as much as we think we know so much, we don't know shit. So
big facts.
Yeah, bro. So it takes it electronically, puts it in this microphone, you know, or your question, you typed it, whatever it was. And then they're able to like bounce your fucking thought, your thing that just seems like it makes sense in your head. They can throw it around themselves and they can spit it right back to you. And now you have like different opinions. And so that's the thing about questions when you're willing to like, it's like, hey, here's my situation. I'm gonna be open. Here's what's going on in my head. What do you guys think about it? I think it's an important thing to note. You're good at being on the receiving side of things too.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of this self-improvement, a lot of this stuff, just like seeing your emotions and seeing like your problems and being able to step out from the outside perspective is being able to accept, you know, not just feedback, but accept, not exactly what you expected, I suppose too. You know?
Oh, one phrase that I love, this might kind of tie into what you were saying a little bit. It might be a little off kilter, but is that a word, off kilter?
It is now, baby.
Nice. What was the phrase? What if it all turns out better than you expected? Just think that every time. What if it all ends up better than you ever expected? And every time I get to a point where I'm like worried about something, about doing something, I'm just like, so what if? What if it turned out better than you think it's going to? And when you get to that point, you're like, holy shit, it turned out a million times better than I ever dreamed.
That would actually be a great exercise. So writing wise, what if you have a panic attack and you're like, what if it, all right, meet the open mic night. I'm like, what if I fuck up, and what if I make a fool of myself, and what if I pee my pants, or whatever I was thinking about. Like instead of you write down on a piece of paper, like, what if it all works out exactly how I want it to? What if it all goes great? Like, and you just start actually answering yourself. That could be a great thing for anxiety, I feel like.
And I just love that statement. What if it turns out better?
Better
Than ever expected.
Better than ever expected.
Because that's the thing, man. We get into this stuff and we're doing this stuff that we're so, like, we get a lot of anxiety about because we put our heart into our art. And so you're almost like you're connecting your emotion to that piece. So if it comes back in a way that's not pleasurable, it hurts, it destroys you. Right. But yeah, it's like if you just sit back and you're like, look, I did a good job. I did a good job in my view. A lot of people in this world will have my view. A lot of people will not. And so it's just like, put it out there, do it, and then see what happens. And then every time, if you ask yourself every time before, what if it all comes out better than expected? You're starting on a position where you want to do more, so it does end up better.
Right.
It's almost you're almost kind of like telling yourself, look, it could be a lot better. So you're already starting this day off with the expectation that you're going to do a little more just so it can be that much better.
Right.
And so not only is it a good way to get out of your head on it, it's also a good way to call to action, push yourself forward.
Right.
Take that anxiety and use it to build up whatever you were doing in the first place. And that's what's happened with the last 6 shows that we've done as a team. Like, we've expected nothing but like, okay, but it all comes out so much better than I ever expected. And the thing is, we did a show recently in Lincoln City. There was not a lot of people there, but it was my favorite performance to this day. I had so much fun.
I like Lincoln City.
Dude, it was a tiny bar. The only people that were there were locals and the artists that were performing. And I just let myself unwind and go crazy as shit. And it was the most beautiful thing that's the most beautiful feeling I've ever had, where I was like, I let everything go. I was the emotion that is in the song I'm singing, I'm putting it out to you so you can feel and see exactly what I'm going through. Right. I didn't cry on stage, sadly. That would have been really cool. Probably a good monetization scheme, but we'll think about that later. But no, it's still
monetizing my tears.
Beautiful. It works every time.
Dude, yeah. You know what would happen though is you're too pure that you would be like, all right, this is where I need to cry. And then you'd be like, damn it, it's not true. I can't actually cry. I'm losing money. I can't wait. Tears. Cry. Right now. Cry. Come on. Cry right now.
Cry about all the money you're going to lose.
Yeah. No, I'm crying. Full circle.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, no. So it's, man, it's a good life. It's a beautiful life.
Yeah.
You're in, like I said, understanding that the emotion that you're feeling is going to actually benefit, especially if you're in the arts. If you're doing something in acting, if you're doing something, a lot of the things that we go through do create who we are as people, but they can also be a really good muse. A really good muse for anything that you want to create, be it paintings, be it acting, be it writing. Man, I want to start hanging out with a lot more like screenwriters and directors, just because. I don't want to get into it, but I want to hang out with more of them. I just want to get to know what goes in their mind, that they can sit there for 4 hours and write out a whole movie in 4 hours and then create it. I just want to sit down and talk to them, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, if you're in the arts, it's a really good way to just like take from experience. And if you've already sat there and let that emotion and understood that emotion, you're able to paint that picture a lot better.
Because that's what the arts are, right? Is communicating emotion in a different, just how music is a different language than speaking English, whatever it may be. Art, all of the arts is just a generalized different way to express human feelings, human emotion. Yeah. That's really all it is. It's a fucking beautiful way that we're able to have like directors expressing it in this way, and artists with a paintbrush, and dudes with fucking blowing glass, and this guy makes kites, and this guy makes it like we can express the depths of like human beauty and emotion.
And those videos on Facebook, those couples dancing, like those super emotional couple dances where like they're performing in front of their whole like dance crew or whatever.
Right.
You know, those are my favorite. You know how a lot of people love watching like cat videos, people love watching dog videos, some people like watching like family returning home from the military, which is all beautiful, but I love watching those two people dancing to the most emotional music. It's just like, it's so beautiful.
Bro, me too. I'm chained to a dancer. Shaylee's a dancer.
Oh really?
She's when we first got together, she was very heavy into dance.
Nice.
Dude, I love that shit. Have you seen I think his name is it's Ben Platt, Grow As We Go is the name of the song. Listener, if you're hearing this, Ben Pratt, I think it's Pratt, I don't know if I can know. Grow As We Go, but it's a piece like that where it's a music video piece, but it's to a guy and a girl dancing, and it's, you know, like it just accompanies with the lyrics so well. Like you understand what is being said. You know, it's no conversation. Like they don't have to say, here's what this song is about. Blah, 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 you know, and they don't have to write that on the screen. It's just the guy singing the song and the dancers dancing the dance. And you just listen and you watch and you're like, I know what's happening there. And it's just like a great thing, dude.
It's like, that's actually something that I really want to do for, I showed you one of the songs that I got coming out, her throwing the more emotional one. I want to do a video like that. So if anybody is a dance choreographer and has, I need 2 male dancers and 1 lady dancer. And if you want to be part of a music video, you should hit me up, because we're going to create the most emotional, beautiful, like it's basically going to be a music video. So like you're going to see, it's like movie style. You're going to see what's happening in real life. And then it's going to switch over to the dance world. And they're pretty much going to be like interpreting what's happening through dance.
I hope nothing more than to start some conversations that start with, hey, I heard you say this thing on Jake's podcast. I'm such and such. Like, I want to make that happen. So creators, definitely reach out. Can you give your @ real quick, just so we don't forget it later?
Yes, so you can get me on Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook at Kanideis. And that's going to be on pretty much all platforms. Yanis Kanideis on Facebook. So if you hit me up and you're willing to get to work right now, just for another video, I've been hitting up my buddies and I'm like, hey, I need some skaters for this video, just because I want to like show off the people that I have in my life, the people that like I knew in high school, the people that like I was always jealous of. For some reason, I want to bring them into my music and videos. So I got 4 skaters, and we're going to be doing this really cool shoot at 4 to 5 different skate parks. So like, that's the thing, man. I'm just trying to find.
You need another skater? It's been a while.
Do you skate? Bro,
that was, so my identity in high school was a skater more than
really? Yeah. Dude, I do need a skater because I need someone who can act and fall in love in the movie.
I mean, I don't know. I didn't sign up to fall in love, but you know,
we don't do that around here. We don't do that.
I'm down though. That actually sounds super fun though, man.
We can talk about that later on. That's gonna be perfect. But yeah, no, man. Right now, it's just that's the goal. I want to. I got emotional music, but I want to portray that emotion in really cool ways. I really do. And tell them in the song that the skaters are for. It's such a teenage song, like it probably go on TikTok very well. But like, so I want to kind of give that vibe of like young love of the not only loving people but loving what you do, skating, shredding and stuff like that. Just going in.
Right.
Like almost the look of like we broke into a skate park in the middle of the night to do this crazy shit.
Love it.
So you know, that's kind of...
Well, dude, you guys think full circle. You think full circle. You think big picture. You think long term. You think like patience. You're a patient man. It
breaks my heart because you want it all to come out right away, but you know it's just building. You're sitting there. You're slowly like piece by piece by piece. The crazy thing is for that song, the only thing I have ready is the song itself and the artwork for the track. And then now that means that I have to create a lyric music video. I got to create a full length music video. We got to go on promo. I got to get about like 6 videos on TikTok. So I might start popping off on there so I can start throwing my music on TikTok.
Right. See, that's what dude, it's so
TikTok
crazy.
Promoters hit me up too.
Yeah. At TikTok. Dude, that's the thing is it's crazy. Like being you know, like I try to sway away from social media myself, but like it does come full circle. Like constantly doing this thing is what fills your life with I'm always getting better at what I'm doing. Like me, I was talking earlier about how I make my, making my thumbnails and making my, just the album arts for stuff. Like taking the time to make those and not always trying to because when you don't have the money for these things, you got to outsource them, right?
Yep.
And so a lot of these people on this podcast are like we were talking about, people starting out, and they're telling you like, no, I just watched hours and hours and hours and hours of YouTube, and we learned how to do these things. Like that's the same with you, man. Like
my brother did that with video editing, and he, like I keep saying, like there's a bunch of deities on my team. We're living on Mount Olympus. Like that's about it, bro.
Yeah.
It's like because we were a group of 3 people for a long time. It was just me, Max, and Ryan. Max is my brother. Ryan is his best friend. Max didn't want me joining the team, so I went around his back and talked to his buddy Ryan, and he was like, "Hell yeah!"
Mm-hmm.
And now Max is very happy that happened. But now we're bringing in people finally after like 8 years of doing this, 6 years. 2012 to 2020, 8 years. We finally brought on 3 more people, and that was just something that we finally found people who were riding the same wave. People who like at this point, the crazy thing is like I have all this planned. Man, I also have to plan around like everybody else's schedule because we're as a record label, how we're doing it is we want to keep us in your ear the whole year.
Right.
So, Buddy's dropping a song. Next thing you know, he's dropping an album. I'm dropping 2 tracks. The next guy's dropping a music video. So out. HAFLife is always in your face.
It's good.
So
that's what you got to do.
That's kind of what we're on. But like I said earlier, just you kind of get, that's where I get anxiety. Like, I just want this to come out already. I want people to see this. I want people to be like,
so it's
feel
released.
what I'm feeling.
It's released.
Like this photo that I keep showing you, bro, I'm so excited about it. Like, it was the stupidest little thing ever, but we sat there, we laughed our asses off for 4 hours straight.
It seals the deal, man. It seals the deal. It's a dope photo. It's perfect for it too.
It is. It's awesome.
I like it. I like how it notches it down. I always love when it's like a even a more serious part of a song, or even like a more where the album art, you see it and you're like, oh, that's different than I expected. But now I think I do get this motherfucker a little bit more, You're always trying to as an artist, every piece that you come out with, whether that's with the promoting of it, with the actual piece, with the performance of it, with the lyrics video, with everything associated with it, you're trying to paint a little bit of a picture of what you kind of meant, and that's a little bit of who you think you are, and piece of so you're always trying to communicate as fully as you can. But it's fucking the interesting thing, dude. An artist is the most confusing person to understand in every way, but also they're the person who's saying the most about themselves in public.
Exactly.
They're the person who's saying here's the deepest parts of my soul, and I'm disguising them with this sort of language. And people are like, yeah, I love it.
It's so beautiful.
We don't understand you at all, you weirdo. Jesus Christ. This is such a weird world.
But yeah, do not date an artist. Do not do it.
Do not date an artist.
Do not do it.
I mean, Shaylee's stuck with an artist.
She's an artist herself, so it works out.
She's an artist. Yeah.
She shows her art through dance, is what you said, which is beautiful. I need dancers. I need everything right now. At this point, we're just we're having fun with what we're doing.
Collabing, yeah. No, that's, dude, I've been doing that too, a lot of with, because I'm getting a lot of people who are getting up off the ground, and we're going to have some YouTube creator days, shit like that and stuff, And then we've talked too, we'll get some musician days up here, just make some beats and make some shitty shit, make some good shit. We'll see what happens.
Hell yeah. Because we were talking about that last year. Remember, we were 2 years ago. When you were building your studio, we were talking on Instagram, and you're like, yeah, dude, you should come over sometime when I get my studio fixed up, and then we could just go crazy, just enjoy ourselves. And so it's when I showed up for that last podcast, I walked in here, I'm like, yes, this is the place that you just come to release, just enjoy your damn self. It feels good. It's a good environment. You walk in here and you feel like this is exactly where I need to be right now.
Fuck, bro. I'm glad you feel that way.
It's beautiful in here, man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. It's I had my friend Jay over, and she's like, wow, it's pretty intense to be inside your mind. And I was like, oh, yeah, that is true, that I did just explode my brain onto the wall. But I take care of my mind now. I love my mind. I love it very much, and I love this room, and I love being able to offer a comfortable place where people can come in here and leave their skin at the door and hang up their mask and just be their true real self, and whatever I can do to make them feel that way. It's something that is inherently in me. I've always been a host. Yeah. I've always worked live events and such, but it's cool to step into it and have it Like, it's not like I'm like trying that hard. I'm just like making it be authentically me down here. Like, this is what I love. This is what's very comfortable for me and what I would like to have if I came over, you know, in someone else's environment, like thinking that way. So it's just nice that it comes across.
Yeah, man. And like we were talking about that TV earlier, man, you just like, that makes me so happy. I have no idea why. Like, just googly eyes on a TV crying, and the TV says I'm broken, but I can still be used for art. Like that makes me happy inside, bro. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, dude. I think the moment it happened when I wrote it. So I told you I painted the face on it afterwards. That was an afterthought. That was probably like a year after. But the TV itself, I want to say that I had some like dorky catastrophe where I dropped it and I was bummed about it. And so, but I was trying to be like, dude, let's be positive. And so I put it in front of the chimney, like tastefully, like to where it covered up the front end there. Yeah. And then put I'm broken, but I can still be used to art. And I set it there, and I was like, that's on purpose, you know. So instead of it being like this broken thing, I turned it around.
No, dude, I love that because, man, how long ago was it that broke?
It's been probably 2 years. I don't know.
It was probably a pretty expensive TV when you got it.
Yeah, I feel like, to be honest, Shaylee probably purchased that TV.
Yeah,
like
and a lot of times people
probably expensive as hell when we first got it though, because those for a while those were like $600.
People just get directly into negative, and I love that you said that because you just took that and you're like, hey, let's stay positive, let's do something fun with it, and that's why like I'm sitting here and I'm like, dude, I would almost kind of turn on the TV if it was possible, just so you could see it's broken, but that's written right on it, and you're just like, it's almost like it's reused for happiness.
Yeah, right. It is, dude. You got to repurpose shit. I mean, it's beauty's in the eye of the beholder, or whatever, right? It's you got to see things differently. A lot of times, your first initial reaction is the sadness. You know, you drop your TV falls off the wall. You're like, what the fuck? This sucks. Because instantly, what goes through your head is like, I got to buy a new one, and it costs this much, and how much I paid for this. Yep. You know, but you gotta. That situation is going to happen. What happens next is going to happen, regardless of if you keep that I'm pissed off or not. So if you can just throw in some sort of fun for your life, right in the middle of that, you stop yourself right in your tracks. And eventually, if you keep doing it, your life your initial reaction is not even really like, yeah, I feel like more and more, you know, things happen, and sometimes they're just instantly silly to me. Like, oh, that's just life. Reminded me about being a little more careful where I balance my TV.
Yeah, and I mean, with just kind of like we've been talking about this whole time, that's the emotional enlightenment. You sat back and you're like, why am I mad right now? What am I going to do about it? And you're like, I'm going to put some googly eyes on it and then draw a sun. Like,
bro, you ever put googly eyes on shit though?
It's exciting, dude.
Yo, what you got to do to people in your life is don't tell them you have googly eyes, but just start putting it on stuff like discreetly. Like do like 2 things in your home at a time. And then like nobody will say anything. Like, because they'll like snicker at it but not interact with it. And then you got to put more things. And then eventually if you want to put stuff on like in the fridge, they'll definitely notice. But there's things in this house that have googly eyes. And there's things that Megan Elam owns that still has googly eyes probably. I think that I put googly eyes on my sister's car at one point. They just make people laugh. I think googly eyes are... They're like secret fairy
cushions,
dust,
man. They're like whoopee cushions.
They are like, bro, whoopee cushions. What the fuck happened to those?
Really? Like, when was the last time you saw one of those?
You ever do pranks when you were growing up? Like, were you a pranker at all?
Yeah, but it was like me and my brothers, so it was like a little screwed up.
Oh, like fuck that! You're just being assholes.
Yeah, you're just like, it's not even funny. It's just screwed up. You're like, why the hell would you do that, asshole? Okay, whatever.
We threw a cat off a bridge, so you know we're such pranksters.
Like we were those kids that like. Dude, we were so stupid. We thought it would be funny to throw rocks at cars while they were driving by.
Oh, I've done that for sure.
Dude, so stupid. What the hell? Like,
right. Yo, I used to do airsoft guns. Like,
oh my God, yes.
We used to shoot crackheads. And then laser pointers, I swear to you, there'd be, where I lived, where there were so many crackheads on bikes, we would try to get the crackheads. We just refer to these people as crackheads. It's crazy. But it's ridiculous. But we would shine a laser light in their eye. This is my upbringing. Jesus. It's so crazy, like the shit that you did when you were a little shit.
Dude, it's crazy to see it come full circle too, because it was a while ago actually that this happened, probably a year and a half ago. I was driving down the road and I was driving through Portland, and you know in Portland under a lot of bridges it's legal to set up tents and shit. There's kids cutting class bear macing a bum. Like,
oh my God.
Yeah, dude, it was unreal, and it was a cloud, dude. It wasn't like pepper spray, it was bear mace. It was like a big ass can.
Why were they in there? What the hell?
I think they were just having fun. That's
so crazy, dude. Like these kids, like they have no idea that they're gonna have to grow up and like
remember this shit.
Yeah, bro, it's gonna be
see their kids do it.
Don't matter. It's Gucci. Do what you gotta do. Oh, yeah, there it is. Nope. No, yeah, we'll swipe it off afterwards. All right, bro. Hey, I have a question that I've been trying to do is like when I have a random thought of like, oh, that'd be a cool podcast question just to ask like any guest at any time, you know, like, cause sometimes when you're like, oh, what else did I want to talk about? So this question was, when's the last time that you changed your mind about something? And if you can think of anything, I'll give you a minute on that. But if you can think of anything that you changed your mind on, like, or you changed your perspective, like I used to think this way and now I think this way, like I changed.
Open relationships.
Open relationships.
Really? Now, I'm a serial monogamist. It's not something that I'll ever like. I don't think I'll ever want to get into an open relationship.
Right.
But my view of an open relationship has broadened, and I think is the most beautiful thing in the world.
Really?
To think to the power of being able having such good communication with somebody, and putting such a into perspective that they're not doing this to hurt me. They're doing this for them. It's amazing, especially because you think about it, we have one life on this earth, and we as people who get in relationships pretty much put our significant others into boxes.
Yeah, in a ball and chain.
And sometimes you get in a relationship with someone who's amazing, but they're polyamorous and you're monogamous. Now, for you have a decision to make. Either cut them off completely, find someone new, or talk about an open relationship. See if something that's something that you're comfortable with. And man, I've gotten like I've been listening to podcast Shan Booty. She's a sex specialist.
I feel like I know her. I feel like I've maybe seen a TED Talk or something. Maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, she's a smart lady. Like she was kind of talking about open relationships, and it's like over the past couple months, it's a whole new world to me. It's like I said, I'm not a serial monogamous. I like the idea of, hey, one person in the world who's for me, I'm for them. That's beautiful. That's what I want to do. Right. But to like anybody who wants to get in an open relationship, I'm like, if you are strong enough to do so, I have so much respect for you.
Oh, for you. So you changed your mind on that. You know, I feel like I changed my mind on that too, just listening to Aubrey Marcus. He talks about that a lot. Him and his ex-girlfriend or current girlfriend, I don't know. I can't remember. But they had an open relationship too, and some of his perspectives on it, I was like, wow, I didn't really think that I would change my mind on that. But it's interesting to listen to people and change your mind about it. Also, that sparks this fucking thing. He just did. I was listening to his podcast this morning. Aubrey Marcus, you know who that is?
I don't.
He co-owns On It with, I think Joe Rogan owns like half it or a third of it. But like Alpha Brain from On It, they make like all kinds of like workout supplements, workout gear, kettlebells, all kinds of cool stuff. But they. Aubrey Marcus just got done with a darkness retreat, bro.
A what? That sounds scary.
Darkness retreat. So he's a dude. He's savage. He's done like traveled all around the world and done like ayahuasca ceremonies and DMT ceremony. You know, like all these fucking different like ceremonies and like. Okay. And he explores them and he comes back and he has a podcast and talks about it. He's great. He's pretty into like just exploring the human mind. I feel like
is
testing
he
it out.
Post military? Is it that guy?
No. I don't think he's post military. I mean, he may be. I could be off on that. Aubrey Marcus. Either way, I don't know. He kind of has that military vibe though. He's kind of a savage. But anyway, he did a darkness retreat, and he was talking about like what you do is you go is like 6 or 7 days. And you go and you have like a mindfold and you're just in darkness for like you have a room. So he said like the first day he's just getting familiar with the room. Right? Yeah. He's just like feeling it out, whatever. There's a window. You can open the window, but you have to have your like mindfold. Like it's a full like head blindfold. Make sure no light gets in. You have to have that on like anytime. So it's like you don't ever want to see any light for these 7 days. Like I think he had a way that people even took him on walks where he like went on like small like walks and hikes and stuff. Like holding, I don't know exactly. I didn't finish the whole podcast, but either way, a fucking darkness retreat. And he said it was like one of the most profound things.
Oh, dude, I would love to do that.
Right, dude.
Because imagine,
dude, you see visuals and shit. Like you hallucinate. Absolutely.
Exactly. Your mind is forced to create imagery for you.
Right. You know what's funny is it's not forced to create imagery. It's not forced to hallucinate. It's almost like it gets rid of it. it's like a sculpture. You get rid of the clay. That's not the sculpture. It starts to remove the pieces. Like starts to show you the everything that you truly are. I believe,
I feel, I think a lot of the things that we have as people, the abilities that we have, could be holding us back from learning a lot of things. And that's why like meditation and the idea of astral projection and things like that. It's like, it's so profound, and it's so like, I believe it 100%. And it's because we are capable of so much with our great minds that we just don't let ourselves delve into. We don't train ourselves in those things. And so honestly, I'm not going to lie to you. I think there is a very high possibility that psychics.
Oh, for sure.
Oh,
what do you think? Like what when you say psychics, like what pops in your mind? Like what do you think is like probably happening? What's a level of psychics?
I'm talking about legitimate. This is going to happen in your life.
Oh, shit.
I don't know when, I don't know how,
right?
but this is going to happen in your life.
Shit.
I truly believe
Have
in
you
it.
ever been to a psychic or anything?
I have not. Now, one thing is I want to go to a psychic really bad, and I also really want to go to a therapist really bad. Not because I feel like I have any emotional or mental issues that I need to delve into. I just want to get to know myself more.
Beautiful,
and
man.
I don't think there's
a
a better way to do that than to go through a therapist who is trained to make you open up parts of your mind. I think you can do that by yourself.
Trained in the matters of the mind. But yeah, dude, if you have a comfortable environment, I mean, this is a place that's been years and years of research of like, how do we make this person the most comfortable that we can to allow them to express, what's going on with them truly. I mean, the quicker you can get comfortable in that environment and with that person, fuck yeah, awesome. That's the sooner you can start to deal with things in your life that maybe you wanted to deal with.
Yeah, and those are other things in my life that were a major change in my life, that starting to believe in things like that. And it's like, I mean, if you want to think about it on a scientific perspective, we're all made of atoms, and maybe there's some sort of deeper connection between all of us in the universe. And so that's the thing. Like, it's just to live in a mind state where you're like, no, that's impossible. That's never going to happen. No, I don't think that's possible at all. Why? Yeah. Why is that impossible?
Why not, man?
Why not think about it? Yeah. Like, why not an open relationship? Why not?
Well, I think people directly put it onto their life without thinking about other people's life. So they don't even allow themselves to explore into things very far.
Yeah. Like we said, people take things that isn't really related to them and they take it to heart, and they're forced to show their own emotion over something that's not even connected to them in any way. Right. And that's one thing that I kind of thought about open relationships is one thing about an open relationship is you realize that they're not doing this action to hurt me. They're doing this because they need it for some reason as a human. Because like I've told all my friends, I've told pretty much everyone I talk to, there are people who are monogamous. There are people who are polygamists. I don't know the difference, sadly. I should probably learn. But there's a big difference. And I think the best thing in the world that we can do is sit back and understand that there's more than just one way to fall in love. Because at that point, we're hurting a lot less people. Because we're not choosing the wrong people, we're opening up the communication lines, and so that's why I've been opened up into like the whole idea of like the open relationship and the fact that I do this because it's something that I need to do, and it shouldn't hurt you. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't cause you any sort of hurt or emotion because this is something in my life. But then again, sex is seen as a very sacred thing, and so of course it's definitely kind of taboo in that manner. Right. But like it also comes down to just because you're in an open relationship doesn't mean you're fucking. Right. Doesn't mean you're going out and smashing anybody else. The idea of an open relationship is you're your own human being. I want you to do whatever you want to do. If it hurts me, sadly, I might have to take my leave. If not, fine, we'll get over it. Just be open to me. Communicate that to me. Tell me that. Right. Help me understand why you need what you need. Maybe we can build a stronger relationship based off the fact that I am not holding back what you need. Right. Some people need sex.
Yeah, because the structure of how we live life is like given to us. Like here's how you live life. And then,
this is right. This is wrong.
Yeah. As you get older, you learn like, oh, okay. Like I don't have to take the structure that everybody gave me. I can learn what works for me, learn what works for other people, and you could explore that. It's interesting. All right, we're getting up here in time, and I do have to pee, but I do. If there's anything you want to add, definitely add it. But let's start with if aliens came right now, you're in the backyard, you're smoking a J, my backyard, I'm down here, I'm taking a piss, you're just like waiting for me. Fucking alien saucer comes down, backyard. He says, Yanis, what's good, bro? Like, what are humans all about? Like, what are you gonna say? What are you gonna say to him? He's like, bro, like, give me a reason. Give me a fucking reason, bro. What's up? No pressure though, bro.
Look, I would first of all try to reason with him and help him understand that there are some people on this world who are empaths like us, and it's mind-blowing that someone could have so much love for someone that has no connection to them. But really, since we both know that's not going to work, I would just tell him to blow this bitch up. That's it, bro. Take it out. You took out the last 12 Earths. This one you can take out too. We're good, bro. Sadly, there's no...
just do the thing. Just...
I mean, I don't want to talk about politics, but like if they came down here right now, that would be very bad for America.
Yeah, we're before our cocoon stage, I think. Whatever, we're in the havoc stage of just eating a bunch of hot pockets before we go into our cocoon stage and to build our smelly, shitty hot pockets into wings somehow. We're eating the hot pockets. I think that's for the stage.
That's that stage.
Yeah. I think that'll explain to the aliens very well what's going on.
Yeah, they're like damn hot pockets. That was like 12 million years ago, right? Shit. Time to blow this bitch up.
All right, bro. Hey, will you do me the favor? And you don't have to do this. I'm sorry if it's putting you two on the spot. Will you say like good night from the Junkyard Love podcast? Will you sing us out from the Junkyard Love podcast? Maybe you got like a jingle, something you could think of, just short little something.
Let me think of something. Simple or something
whatever you want, but whatever pops in your mind.
It's Junkyard Love coming at you fast. Yeah, it's Junkyard Love. Hold up, let me try this again.
Okay.
It's Junkyard Love coming at you fast. It's Junkyard... Fuck that up again. I'll try again. It's Junkyard Love coming at you fast. It's Junkyard Love. Don't let the moment pass with Junkyard Love. Jake Ryan's in the building, baby. We gonna take this party on now tonight.
Ooh, it's out.
It's out.
Hell yeah. That's Junkyard Love podcast. Have a good night, folks. Take care of yourself. Peace out.